Breaking barriers toward a label-free and fully inclusive society. Imagine a world where you don't need to explain who you are, where love is simply love, and your essence is accepted without labels or conditions. This video invites you to look beyond the words we use to define the categories society insists on imposing and uncover what truly matters: being. Throughout history, society has created categories and labels to try to understand human complexity. These labels aim to offer a framework, an apparent order in a diverse and multifaceted world. However, when it comes to sexuality and gender identity, labels can become an emotional burden. Instead of liberating, they often restrict. Instead of clarifying, they frequently divide. Why do we label? The need to label stems from our social inclination to classify and make sense of our surroundings. Sexuality, as a fundamental aspect of human experience, has not escaped this classificatory impulse. By assigning labels like bisexual, transgender, homosexual, or non-binary, we attempt to make sense of something inherently fluid and deeply personal. But why must these words define a person? Why should a preference, an identity, or a way of loving become a definition for others to judge, approve, or reject? Labels can be useful for describing experiences or finding belonging in community, but they can also limit. They can confine people to boxes that fail to reflect the richness of their being and lead to the need to justify themselves. No one needs to justify who they truly are. Living authentically is statement enough. Is a label-free society possible? Envisioning a society where people are seen for who they are, beyond their sexuality or gender identity, may seem utopian, but it is an achievable ideal. Instead of focusing on categorizing, we could concentrate on recognizing our shared humanity. An inclusive society is not a distant dream. It is a choice we can build with every act of respect, with every word that affirms another's humanity. In an evolved society, we do not judge. We do not question why someone loves whom they love or why they choose to live their identity in a particular way. We simply celebrate diversity as part of humanity. In the end, no one needs to question anything but their own choices. As Maya Angelou said, we cannot practice any form of discrimination and expect the world to be a better place. Inclusion is not just an ideal, it is an act of basic humanity. Every time you choose to look at someone with compassion rather than judgment, you contribute to a more open and loving society. Building an inclusive society. Inclusion begins with each of us. Here are some tools we can implement to support our friends and family who may need them. Practice daily respect. You don't need to fully understand someone to respect them. Empathy and recognizing each person's dignity are essential steps. Foster open conversations and listen. Sometimes the best help is simply being present and listening without judgment. Educate yourself. Learn about different orientations and identities. Showing that you've taken the time to understand demonstrates respect and support. Provide a safe space. Let them know they can be themselves with you without fear of judgment or rejection. Be patient. The journey of self-discovery can be long and filled with ups and downs. Give them the time they need to find their way. Challenge stereotypes. Question your own biases and work to dismantle preconceived notions about what is normal. Support future generations. Teaching children to accept and celebrate differences will prepare a more understanding and compassionate generation. By letting go of labels, we free ourselves and others from the weight of limiting expectations. We recognize that all of us in our diversity share a common longing to be loved and accepted as we are. Humanity's true richness lies in its ability to evolve, to look beyond superficial differences, and discover the vibrant soul within every being. Today we have the opportunity to be agents of change, to teach by example that people are not this or that, they simply are. Because when we remove the barriers that divide us, we create a space where everyone can thrive, without fear, without judgment, with full recognition of their intrinsic worth, the vastness of their spirit, and the kindness of their heart. Let us move toward a life without labels, guided by the certainty that diversity does not divide us but enriches us. Let us build a future where authenticity is not an act of courage but a right and a natural state. In that freedom we find the purest essence of humanity, unconditional love and unity in a broader community with all our beautiful diversity.